Hello, lovely souls. This is the Lantern Path, and I am your host, MelKat, your spiritual ate. And in our last episode, if you will be able to remember, we discovered that discernment is already built in with us, like an internal GPS. So today, let's look at one of the simplest examples of discernment, okay? And that is fire, alright? So imagine someone lights a candle or starts a campfire, right? Or turns on a gas stove. Most of us wouldn't immediately place our hand on the flame. Why? Because we understand the cause and effect. We know that we're going to get burned if we touch that fire. Alright? So, notice something interesting? Okay. You don't need to touch the fire every single time to know what will happen. You observe, you remember, you learn, and then you choose. That is discernment, okay? Discernment isn't about being afraid of fire. Fire is not good. Fire is also not bad. Fire can cook your food. It can keep you warm. It can provide light in the darkness, okay? If you needed to. But the same fire can also burn a house, destroy a forest, or injure someone who uses it carelessly. The difference is not the actual fire. The difference is how we understand it and how we choose to respond to it. The same principle actually applies to spirituality, all right? Dreams are not automatically good or bad. Signs are not automatically good or bad. Same with tarot, same with astrology, same with spiritual experiences. Yes, spiritual experiences, okay? What matters is how we approach them, okay? It's kind of like, do we rush in without understanding? Or do we pause, observe, learn, and respond wisely? Discernment reminds us that every choice has consequences, and understanding those consequences helps us make wiser decisions. That is why discernment isn't simply about asking, can I do this? Alright? It is also asking, what could happen if I do this? Or if I do it? Because wisdom grows when we begin to see the relationship between our choices and their consequences, right? So before we end this episode, ask yourself, in my own life, where have consequences become my greatest teacher? And when I encounter something unfamiliar, do I rush to touch the fire? Or do I take time to understand it first? Interesting questions, right? So, if you do have an answer, you can actually leave a comment down below. Okay? But if you don't, that's totally fine. Let it sit in. Until then, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Your free will remains yours. Use it wisely. But if something unexpectedly touches your quiet place inside of you, pause for a moment, reflect before you move forward. And always remember, grant first, decode later. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Love and light.